and celebrating 140 years of Stockport County. It's our anniversary, Saturday 29th of July from 3 o'clock kickoff. Our game in Preston North End, we've got some special appearances from the Huddersfield football players, a shirt exhibition, and so much more. What's going on for our family fun day next Saturday, celebrating 140 years of Stockport County.
Good afternoon everyone and welcome to Edgeley Park for today's pre-season friendly between Stockport County, our hosts, and your very own Huddersfield Town. Delighted to have you here again on YouTube, HTAFC's official YouTube channel, for one of our two pre-season friendly streams that we're going to be holding this pre-season. Today's game against our League 2 hosts, and also the game at the John Smith Stadium next Saturday against our Dutch opponents SV Heerenveen. Fantastic to have you here at Edgeley Park today. A really good following from Town as well. Just to our right, off camera here, there's around 900 Town fans expected at Edgeley Park this afternoon, which is a fantastic following for a pre-season friendly, albeit not too far across the M62 and the M60 to get to Greater Manchester. But brilliant to have you in person here this afternoon, and also have you following along on HTTV. We'll run you through the teams very, very shortly. For those of you that haven't been following pre-season too closely so far, perhaps you've been on your own holiday while the football's been away. It's been a good pre-season under Neil Warnock so far. We're in Cornwall just over a week ago as his usual pre-season trip. Played 3 local friendlies down there. Played Accrington Stanley behind closed doors in midweek as well at the Miller's Oils High Performance Complex. But this is a step up today for Town, the biggest test we've had in pre-season so far. Stockport fancied in League 2 this season to be one of the front runners. Really unlucky not to get promoted last season, actually. They were losing playoff finalists to Carlisle United, so a team that's really fancied to have a good run at getting promoted to League 1 this coming season. Dave Challoner, the manager here at Stockport now as well. You will remember him if you're a Town fan of my vintage at 38 years old as the man with the long throw, played for the likes of Tranmere Rovers. He's done well as a manager so far as well. Did really well at AFC Fylde before coming here to Stockport County, and just signed a new contract in the summer with our hosts as well. So again, expect the Hatters to be right up there this season. We'll run you through Town's team first of all today. A few absentees today again. Jonathan Hogg still sidelined with an ankle injury picked up down in Cornwall last week. Tom Lees is on the road to recovery from his own calf issue. Ollie Turton obviously with a longer term knee issue. Kieran Phillips likewise long-term hamstring problem, and no Ben Jackson today, which is a big shame for Ben because he is a Stockport native, has played on loan here twice, but just got a little bang that rules him out today. Nothing too serious. But Town, a strong looking starting 11 today for the Terriers, named by Neil Warnock. Don't know how long we should expect each of these players to get minutes this afternoon, but Lee Nichols in goal again today. Obviously always good to see Lee in Town colours. We're expecting a back 3 this afternoon, I should think, so it looks to us like it will be Matty Pearson, Michal Helik, who's captain in the side again today, and probably Josh Ruffles playing centre-back for the Terriers. At wing-back, Sorba Thomas on the right, and we're expecting Jaheim Headley to be on the left-hand side. Rahmani Edmonds-Green in that number 6 position, the deepest central midfielder, where he's featured pretty much exclusively in pre-season, although he has played a bit of right-sided centre-back as well. Ahead of him, David Kasumu and Jack Radoni, now wearing the number 8 shirt for Town this season, and expecting a front 2 of Josh Karoma and Danny Ward. Lots of subs today as well, and a possible Town debut for our newest recruit, Chris Maxwell, the goalkeeper who signed yesterday as a free agent. Over 400 career games, Chris, 125 in the Championship, 31 of those came for Blackpool last season. So welcome to Huddersfield Town to Maxi. He's on the bench today alongside Brahima Diarra, Brodie Spencer, Jordan Rhodes, Kian Harrott, Pat Jones, Kyle Hudlin, Scott Hyde back on the bench again today, Yuta Nakayama, Josh Osterfield and Loic Aina. Our hosts today, and I should mention as well, so our retail guys talked to me on Monday. We're in the acid lime kit again this afternoon, so that's available in store now and online at shop.htafc.com. It looks really, really good in person. Obviously Stockport in their traditional blue shirt today, so we're in the away kit. So just have a look at that for the first time today. Is on sale now at shop.htafc.com. Stockport County, there'll be a couple of familiar faces in there for Town fans. Fraser Horsfall, their number 6, who's playing centre-back today. He's a former Town Academy player. He still lives in Huddersfield. Spoke to Fraser pre-match, really nice lad, came through the academy, never played a senior game for Town, but has had a really, really good career since. Joined Stockport from Northampton Town. He's a League 2 player of the year. Team of the year member, should I say, when he was at Northampton in 21-22, so good operator at this level, Fraser. And Jordan Smith, who we never got to see in Town colours, but signed for us as cover for the last 6 months of last season from Nottingham Forest. He signed a 1-year deal here, the goalkeeper, so he's on the bench this afternoon as well for Stockport County. County's team in goal, the club legend Ben Hinchliffe, number 2 Kyle Noel, number 3 Ibu Toure, who's a new signing from Salford. Number 6 Fraser Horsfall, 7 Macaulay Southam Hales, 8 Callum Camps, 9 the captain Paddy Madden, 10 Anthony Sarcevic, 11 Nick Powell, who was a big signing for them in the summer, 17 Ryan Rydell and 18 Ryan Croasdale. And as you've probably noticed and heard, Town's players are out there on the far side just as Stockport also make their way out onto the Edgeley Park turf. Fantastic playing surface here at Edgeley Park, has to be said. It's a long time since we played a first team game here at Edgeley Park. We put the highlights out of that 6-0 win that we enjoyed back here over 10 years ago. But the playing surface is absolutely tremendous here, among other improvements around Edgeley Park. Hopefully you can hear the sizable Town following. If you're just joining us, over 900 Town fans here today, just below us to our right hand side. Fantastic following here at Edgeley Park. It's been raining all morning. You'll be glad to hear they are in the covered section today. The uncovered section behind the goal isn't being used today, so Town fans coming over have got away with the inclement weather here in Manchester today. If you are just joining us, thanks for coming along today on HGTV. Delighted to have you here. All our pre-season streams are always free to air on YouTube. This is a 1-camera feed today, thanks to our friends from Proper Digital again for setting up as they always do every summer. 1-camera feed today with my commentary in the season on iFollow. It's going to be the same as ever. It's going to be a multi-camera mix, and it'll be the far more professional tones of Paul Ogden who does the commentary. You'll be glad to hear on match days. I'm going to try really hard not to repeat myself on commentary today. I'm not a career commentator, but do my best in pre-season, so please bear with me if I'm not totally accurate with the Stockport players. I've done my research, but I'm not a Stockport watcher every week, so if you are a Stockport fan, you're welcome along, of course, but I don't know your lads as well as I know ours, so please forgive me in advance for any mistakes I make during the commentary. Looks like we're moments away here from kick-off. The referee today is Andrew Kitchen. Brilliantly, the 4th official is called Zach Kettle, so culinary theme to it today. The assistants are Mr. Fivey and Mr. Woodward. Stockport going to be kicking us off here with the number 11, Nick Powell, of course. Nick signed as a free agent this summer. It's taken a few by surprise. The former Stoke City, Man United, Wigan Athletic player. I think many thought he might get a championship suitor, but he is a Manchester lad, I believe, or he's from Crewe, I think, actually, initially. So move local to him. And Stockport, a very ambitious club. There's absolutely no doubt about that. So he will be, you would think, one of the standout performers at League 2 level this season. The referee gets us underway. And we're away here in the latest pre-season game of the season for Town as Ibu Toure knocks it forward. Matty Pearson wins his first head, and there's Rahmani Evans-Green in the number 6 position. Nice layoff from Danny Ward. Good first touch there from Wardy. Sorba Thomas has got 3 for company down that side, but it's a great ball down the side to David Kasumu. Town got 3 in the box here. They go deep. Jaheim Headley's going to run onto it. Volleys it goalwards. Really good start from Town. Good clearance there from the Stockport defender. Lively start from the men in acid lime. Here's Headley down below us. 1-2 with Karoma. Jaheim's got Stockport players around him, so he goes back all the way to Michal Helik in the end. And here's a first touch of the afternoon for Lee Nichols in a very, very pink top. Many of you will have seen the blue goalkeeper top. That's the one that we're selling in retail this season. Really nice as well, actually. The one we announced Chris Maxwell in yesterday, but the pink one's good too. Helik tries to find the runner Sorba Thomas, but it's cut out by the Stockport man, and now Matty Pearson sends the half volley forward. Fraser Horsfall, the former Town Academy man, takes the ball. Josh Karoma's just stopping that ball back to the goalkeeper. Horsfall has to come forward on his weaker left foot, and Pearson wins the first header above Paddy Madden. Rahmani Edmonds-Green then wins the second, but it's just going to... Oh, Danny Ward's kept it in on that far side, although Edmonds-Green just over plays that one there, and it's knocked forward instead towards Nick Powell, and Hellick again with the header. Matty Pearson sent that very upwards. Town in the 3-5-2 today, if you are just joining us. It's the shape that they played a couple of times in pre-season already at Tavistock, and for most of the game at against Accrington in midweek behind closed doors as well. Josh Karoma up front with Danny Ward. He is given licence to drift around, of course, Josh, and he does find himself on that left-hand side quite a lot, as you would expect. Just throw into Stockport here just over halfway. It's Ibu Toure, who's a League 2 Team of the Year member from his time at Salford City last season, has made the short move to County this season. There he is again, picking up this ball for the Hatters. Good ball inside to Powell, and Powell tries to play that inside Matty Pearson, but Matty's going to get there. Good tackle from Matty Pearson, gets a round of applause ahead of Ryan Rydell, the left winger. Stockport looks to get this moving quickly again, and it's back to Toure. Toure steps outside Sorba Thomas, but Sorba's done his defensive work diligently there. Good to see Sorba back in town colours, of course. He had that loan at Blackburn Rovers towards the end of last season. Back at wing back as well today, which is where, of course, he played under town when he first joined from Boreham Wood. Got him into the Wales squad. He's wearing 14 this season. For those of you wondering why Sorba's moved from 7, it was at his request. He wore 14 at Boreham Wood when he made his first steps into senior football. It's a number that's dear to him. So he's moved to 14. Josh Ruffles now the number 3 after re-signing. Pearson goes short to Thomas. Thomas knocks it into Danny Ward, who rolls onto that favoured left foot, shrugs it off. Ward shoots, and it's a goal! Fantastic stuff from Danny Ward, not dissimilar to the goal that kept us up against Sheffield United. Just rolled his man onto his favoured left foot, sent it across the goalkeeper Hinchliffe, and it's a great start from Huddersfield Town. Stockport County 0, Huddersfield Town 1. The Danny Ward chance coming out from our right-hand side here. Real typical stuff from Wardy, that really similar to the goal he scored against Sheffield United at the John Smith Stadium, but 4 minutes in, it had been a bright start from Town, and Wardy rolled his man there onto his favoured side, and it's a typically expert finish. Such a good left foot, Wardy. Good ball into the channel there for Madden, though, as Stockport look to get back underway, and Hellick has to knock the ball out for a throw-in right down by the corner flag. Good play from Sorba Thomas there, he gets the assist. Won't be the first or the last you'd think he'd get for Town this season, but it was a good ball up the line into Danny Ward, and he rolled it perfectly. And once you've got space like that for Wardy on the edge of the box, there's only one outcome, despite the range. Here's Stockport looking for a way back in it, though. Toure sends a low ball towards the box, but Kasumu's well positioned to clear that down the line. Karoma outmuscles his man, and Horsfall is good in the air, Fraser Horsfall. He wins that header. Here's Callum Camps, the former Rochdale man, striding forward. He goes left. Or to our left, should I say. Jaheim Headley there is really tight to the man straight away, but he's got 2 players up here, and it's allowed Kyle Knoll to get forward, and that's a good ball in, but it's cleared by Town eventually by Sorba Thomas. Karoma just nudges Toure, he looks to clear that. He has to go backwards to Ryan Crossdale, the midfielder. Played over a century of games, Crossdale, since moving here from Fylde, followed Dave Challoner. Done really well for this club. Several of the players have been here a long time for Stockport County. There's Sarcevic, who's given a bit of a free roll, Anthony Sarcevic. He scored an unbelievable goal in Stockport's last pre-season friendly. Fantastic. From a long ball, he took it down without letting it touch the floor and then just lobbed it over the goalkeeper. If you've seen it on YouTube, it was tremendous. He's a real talent, Sarcevic. Spent a lot of his early career in non-league and then broke into league football. Stockport back in possession again here, and Horsfall hits the diagonal out towards the number 7, but Jaheim Headley's read that really well, the B-team graduate. It's a good tackle, actually, from the 7, that Southern Hales, and he crosses again. It's a good ball. Sorba Thomas well positioned there. It drops to Sarcevic, and now here's the Stockport man trying to come onto his right foot. He comes to Camps. Camps can hit them. He's absolutely, well, yeah, Madden's offside, I was going to say. It's ricocheted off a few people there, did Camps' shot, and fell to Paddy Madden, the veteran striker now. He's 33. But flagged offside by the man on our near side. Town back in possession. Here's Edmonds-Green. Good ball into Karoma. If you're just joining us, if you're a little late to the party, we're already 1-0 up here at Edgeley Park. Danny Ward with a fantastic finish. We'll try and get that on our social media channels as soon as we can. Michal Helik just looking for a pass. He's rather telegraphed that one though, and there's problems here because Madden's through. Oh, he's offside. He's offside as he lifts it expertly past Nichols. Helik's got away with that one. It was a bad pass from the pole. And it would have been marginal, that offside, I would say. It's not Michal's finest moment, that one. Such a good player though. Town's player of the season, of course, last season. Headley wins the header above Southern Hales, and now Town trying to keep it alive in the Stockport half. Here's Karoma, plays it right to Kasumu, and now Sorba Thomas comes inside Sorba. He's tried to play a ball on the outside of his foot, and he's found Jack Radoni. Radoni shoots, it hits Crossdale, the Stockport midfielder, and it's Southern Hales has to knock it behind under pressure from Headley, and it's a corner to Town, the first of the game, on our near side, Town's left-hand side. Been an enterprising start from both sides here. Nothing risk-averse about either team, as you'd expect in pre-season. Sorba Thomas over on the near side to take this corner. Goes deep towards Helik, but it's well won there by Fraser Horsfall. Kasumu hooks it back towards Pearson. And Ibu Toure heads, I think it was, no it wasn't, sorry, it was Kyle Noel who headed that away. Town just setting this one back up here, getting the positions back after that set piece. Just momentarily here, Headley and Thomas have switched after Sorba took that corner. And now here is Jaheim Headley, it's Kasumu, sorry, on the right-hand side. It's a good block from Toure, but it's out for another corner. Now on the far side for Huddersfield Town. Been a really bright start from Town. Sorba Thomas trotting over to that far side. Headley and Ruffles back, marking Paddy Madden here. Everyone else up and around the box. See if Town can double their advantage. Rain has stopped here in Manchester now as well, which is making for a much nicer set of conditions for the players. Thomas goes deep again towards Helik, who knocks it back across. Edmonds Green tries to keep it alive, hooks it into the air. Here's Matty Pearson. He's gone down under a challenge. I don't think he'll be getting that. Pretty much the same challenge, and Jack Radoni gets penalised, but yeah, there you go. To be fair, Jack did put his arms on the defender, so it does give the referee the opportunity to give that one. Stockport back in possession. Do try and play Stockport as well, you have to say. Noyle goes down the line towards Madden. Madden tried to knock it into Southern Hales' path, but Southern Hales and Headley are back in that battle again now. Strong player, Jaheim Headley. Ooh, Helik's slapped it against the defender and he has to knock it dead. And knock it out for a throw-in under pressure from Madden. That'll allow Noyle to take this throw-in a second. Kyle Noyle. The right back, joined from Doncaster in January. Used to be at West Ham's academy, he's now 26. Here is Noyle. Bit of an overload here as Ruffles is left on his own, but Edmonds Green's come over to try and help out. Now Ruffles and Noyle. Noyle slams it across, and Helik, brave header at the near post there. Headley gets tight to Nick Powell. Crossdale tries to clip that one in, and now here's Southern Hales again under pressure from Helik. Headley and Crossdale on this far side. Headley gets a deflection on that, but Stockport keep the ball alive again. Here's Southern Hales, crosses into the box, great ball, and it's headed wide at the near post by Nick Powell, and that was a decent chance for Stockport there. He was under pressure from Jack Radoni, and Jack may have done just enough to nudge Powell underneath that header. Great support from Town fans here today. They're in full voice here, and it really is standing room only behind us. We think there's around 1,000 here in the end, which is fantastic support for pre-season. In fact, just looking now, they might be putting some people behind the goal because we've kind of filled this area, which has caught everyone by surprise. Ball over halfway. Danny Ward underneath it with Noyle. Noyle heads it out for a Town throw. Stockport in a back three as well, like Town today. It looks like when they're setting up defensively. Headley just looking for options here as Jack Radoni comes to the ball. David Kasumu's made his way across as well, but Jaheim goes back to Josh Ruffles, who's playing left centre-back today. Josh, it's not the first time he's played there. Neil Warnock spoke about re-signing Josh for his flexibility he gives him by being able to play left centre-back as well. Headley into Radoni. Nice play from Jack Radoni, and Jaheim now drifts inside as he likes to do. Plays it to Kasumu. Kasumu out to Radoni, who's come to this left side. Kasumu's made a good run in front of him, but Jack cuts back inside, then goes back out to Kasumu. Here is David, goes on his left side. Cuts back onto his right, Kasumu. Oh, he's tried to find Jaheim Headley. Jaheim's probably just going to get there, and that's a free kick, I think, to Stockport. Jaheim got a little foot on the ball, but went slightly over the top of Southern Hales as well in doing so with his trailing leg. Kind of challenge that might get you in trouble in a league game, but as it's pre-season, you have to pretty much murder someone to get a yellow, so I think Jaheim's going to be fine. Hopefully Southern Hales is going to be fine as well. He's asking for the physio on. Again, if you're just joining us, you're more than welcome here on HTTV. It is Stockport County 0, Huddersfield Town 1. Danny Ward scoring a goal inside the 4th minute. Referee just having a quick word with Jaheim Headley here as Southern Hales receives treatment. Will be a word, nothing more, I believe. No malice in that. Jaheim's not that player. Yeah, referee sensibly just having a quick word with Jaheim there. Lee Nichols and Nick Powell having a chat off camera here. I wonder if they were ex-teammates at Wigan Athletic. Suspect the timelines did cross over there. Lee's done an interview with the Newcastle Chronicle this week as an ex-teammate of Harvey Barnes at MK Dons as well, who's making that move up to Newcastle, we think, from Leicester City. I don't know if that's gone through yet or not. More Town fans arriving here, and they're actually opening another block beneath us, rather than put them in the rain or the possible rain at the away end. We are now just in the 14th minute. Southern Hales picks himself back up. It's 27, Southern Hales, former Cardiff Academy player, one of several players in Stockport colours who used to play for Fleetwood. Town just looks to have rejigged the midfield slightly here, so Kasumu has just dropped in alongside Edmonds Green. It looks like we're going to play Radoni just behind the front two of Ward and Koroma there. Slight adjustments in pre-season, of course. Neil Warnock, Ronnie Jepson, Carl Serrant constantly assessing the players as Hellick gets a big header to that one there, and Koroma's going to put Horsfall under pressure. He has to go back to his goalkeeper, Ben Hinchliffe. Now 35, Hinchliffe, the oldest player in the Stockport team, and he's got that kick wrong there because it's allowed Sorba Thomas to pick up the ball and come away with it, but fair play to Sarcevic there, who tracked him all the way back. Yeah, Hinchliffe has played approaching 300 games for Stockport, been here since 2016. His number of appearances he made last season triggered a 1-year extension. It's not a great challenge there from Josh Koroma, just stretching for the ball. He caught Sarcevic, but the Stockport man picks himself straight back up, which is good to see. Fairly even last few minutes after Town's good start and goal. Horsfall into Nick Powell. Sorba Thomas now catches Nick Powell. 3 fouls in fairly quick succession from the Terriers there. Powell's dropped really deep here to pick up that ball. He's tried to find a crossfield towards Southern Hales, who tries to take that touch on, but Headley's done really well. Although he sold Nichols a bit short with the kick, and Madden's torn across to force Lee to kick it out for a throw-in. Good initial defending there from Jaheim Headley. Hopefully a big season for Jaheim, the B-team graduate. Scored that really important goal, of course, on Neil Warnock's debut against Birmingham City, where received it straight from the keeper. Fantastic finish into the far corner. He's got that in his locker, Jaheim. Powerful player, strong player. Real attacking threat, but he can defend as well, Jaheim. Here's Hellick, who's got it short. Hellick goes into Danny Ward, who needs to look after it. Ward, a good touch from Josh Ruffles there to take the ball away from Nick Powell. And now he's got runners and goes short to Josh Koroma, and we know what a danger Josh is. He's got Sorba Thomas out to his right, and he does go right to Sorba, who's got Ryan Rydell for company, left wing back. Goes past Rydell onto his right. Cross as well. Rydell towards Ward. Oh, and almost at Josh Ruffles at the back post, but Koroma's going to pick this up. Koroma against Southern Hales here. He goes onto his right foot, goes back onto his left. Trying to work the space for a shot. Josh, it's not a bad effort, you know, and that's hit the pole just behind the goal there. You know what Josh is going to do, but knowing what he's going to do and defending against it are two separate things. Good effort from Josh Koroma there. One thing I've noticed about Josh in training and in matches in pre-season is going on his left side more, and if he can perfect that one, it's going to give defenders a real headache, because we all know how good he is when cutting onto his right foot in those positions, but if it does have that threat of going on his left, it's a real double jeopardy kind of thing. Good defending Sorba Thomas there, who's just got to be careful here because he's got a lot of people coming. He does really well there, actually. Although Matty Pearson has to knock the ball out for a throw-in. Can defend Sorba, he's a willing worker. Good throw down the line to Powell, and Matty Pearson's there for company as well. Goes back to Rydell. Toure, good cross into the box from Toure, and that's a decent header from Paddy Madden, who's a dangerous player in the box, but always going wide. Lee Nichols quite happy to watch that one wide of his far post. You can see the threat that Stockport carry. It really did go as close as you can without getting promoted to League One last season. You fancy they're going to have a real shot at getting promoted this time. 18 minutes in here, it is Stockport County 0, Huddersfield Town 1, as Michal Helik strides forward and he sends a left-footed crossfield to Sorba Thomas. That is a fantastic ball. Rydell's near Sorba. Referee not interested in giving the free kick there. Sorba just tried to step across Rydell, so he gave the free kick away. Ended up being probably just about shoulder to shoulder. You do see those given. Not on this occasion. Referee Mr. Kitchen not interested. Now here's Fraser Horsfall, has picked that one up short. Toure tries to step past Ward and does step past Ward, actually. He does well there, but Ward, he sticks to his guns and gets back alongside him and forces an errant pass. Well done to Danny Ward there. Even though it's pre-season, I can absolutely tell you that Neil and particularly Ronnie Jepson won't suffer half intensity in these games. They want to see Town showing that they're getting ready for the new season. Play at match intensity. Town just boxed in a bit here, though, on this left-hand side. Good talking from Lee Nichols there. Now goes out towards Danny Ward on the right. Toure wins the first header, and now good call from Helik there ahead of Edmonds Green. Here's Madden again. He's got Ruffles right alongside him. He does really well there, Madden, to get it out to Nick Powell. Powell, good play from Michal Helik again, who read that really well, and Matty Pearson was winning that one all day, and he flicks it off Rydell for a Town throw-in. Determined stuff from Matty. Couple of Stockport Town connections in both teams today. Pat Jones, even though he's a Wales under-21 international, actually born in Stockport. We've gone through in pre-match. There's a couple of Town connections in Stockport side as well. Fraser Horsfall and Jordan Smith. Throw into Stockport just inside the Town half. Here's Nick Powell again. He's got Pearson for company and tries to shrug Pearson off and then plays a really good crossfield ball towards Southern Hales, but it's just got too much on it. Good response from Stockport after the Town goal. Here's Josh Ruffles, goes all the way back to Michal Helik. He's got Matty Pearson in space out to the right and gets a round of applause as he finds him. And then Matty's found Kasumu, who tried to turn back inside, but he couldn't quite do it. But Sorba Thomas is alert enough to pick that ball up. And now Danny Ward does really well under heavy pressure from Toure to win Town a throw-in on that far side. Danny played his first 45 minutes of pre-season in our final game in Cornwall. He had a little knock in Cornwall that meant he had to just sit out the first two games. Got 45 minutes under his belt against Liscard in the 13-1 win. And then he played another, I think it was an hour against Accrington behind closed doors in midweek. Pearson just, Powell read that one well, and Kasumu has to play the ball out for a throw-in. Lee Nichols, don't know if you can hear that off camera, but admonishing his outfield teammates for a little bit of sloppiness there. Good to hear Lee as a commanding voice in this team. And the Championship's best keepers, I am biased, but comfortable saying that. Here's Toure. He's going to look for the run of Paddy Madden. Josh Ruffles has gone all the way across with Madden. He does really well to go back to Lee Nichols, actually. It would have been easier to knock that ball out. As it is, Lee does knock the ball out, albeit further up the pitch. And now the ball's just landed again as the ball's in play. Good, well done. Tell you what, Jack Radoni almost did really well there because that ball was not in his favour, but he's kept it alive for Town, and now Karoma finds Sorba Thomas. Not a bad idea early on there from Sorba, and David Kasumu comes in typical fashion and just catches Callum Camps there. Kasumu, no stranger to a yellow card, of course. Don't mind seeing it, though. It was a genuine attempt at the ball, you have to say. Free kick to Stockport, nonetheless. We're just approaching the midway point here in the first half. It's still Stockport County 0, Huddersfield Town 1, thanks to Danny Ward's second goal of pre-season. Jim Headley cutting that ball out for Southern Hales. It's a good battle down here between Headley and Southern Hales so far. Here's Sarcevic, I think. Had that gone out already? No, not quite. So throw in again to Stockport County. Here's Sarcevic, the midfield creator for Stockport. It goes back to Crossdale, who finds Camps, his midfield colleague. Crossdale just lets the ball run across him and finds Sarcevic. Sarcevic. It's a good ball there from Southern Hales inside, and now Sarcevic has it again. He just clips the ball cleverly into the centre of the pitch, and now, oh, that's a really weak dive from Paddy Madden. He'd already got the free kick given against him for a handball. Didn't look great, that, to be honest with you. He may have been caught slightly by Kasumu, but yeah. And I think he's going to be okay. A great career, Paddy Madden, though, you have to say, the Irishman. Scored goals everywhere he's been. Played over a century of games for Scunthorpe United, Fleetwood Town. Came to Stockport in March 21, was a big part of the team that got them back into the Football League. And also a big part of the team that got them to the playoff final last season. Real poacher, knows exactly where the goal is. Here is Madden. Does well there, just turns back inside and goes out to Ibu Toure, who's got Josh Karoma chasing him down. Former Salford man, but he does well to find Rydell, the left wing back. He's got Toure for company, actually, and Josh hasn't really tracked him, so... Ooh, it goes all the way across the box to Southern Hales, who's... G. Medley has to block that cross out for a corner. A bit of an overload here on this side, so he just calls Rahmani Evans Green over. There's a ball in the middle of the box as well, which might stop the kick being taken quickly. Stockport had the better of things in the last 5 minutes or so, you have to say. Good team, Dave Challoner's side. Town defending well thus far. Headley just makes his way back in to mark a player. It's Thomas and Ward out here looking at the short one. Rydell, the left wing backs, come over for the in-swinger. It's a deep ball towards the back post where Fraser Horsfall and Matty Pearson were having a wrestle, but the ball is too deep anyway. So it's out for a goal kick to Town. Fraser really good in the air, Fraser Horsfall, the Stockport centre-back. He'll get his fair share of goals for them this season, I'm sure, for the Hatters. Lee Nichols waves his teammates away, wants to get them up the pitch. Lots of subs here for Town today, 11 subs. Brima Diarra back from the Under-23 African Cup of Nations, where he finished third with his country. Nichols moves it forward. Good play from the defender again, and that's not a terrible ball, you know, out towards Karoma, but Hinchliffe's just going to be able to claim it in front of him. Thumbs up from Josh to Josh Ruffles there for the idea. Horsfall has to go back to Toure, and Hinchliffe rather scuffs his effort forward, so Edmonds Green wins the first header. Well done, Rahmani, ahead of Sarcevic, although equally Crossdale did well to win the second, and it's now back with Hinchliffe again, who goes out to this right side to Kyle Noyle. Noyle clips the ball, great ball into Sarcevic, although here's David Kasumu. Oh, Kasumu doesn't complain, to be fair, so we'll give a free kick to Stockport. Sarcevic, and Powell knocks it forward quickly towards Rydell, and it's good play. Fair play to Sorba Thomas again, who's done a really good job defensively, although he's ended up overhead kicking it out for a throw-in. But the first bit, fair play Sorba Thomas, because he switched on there to that early free kick from Powell. Stockport volley it into the area. Town's got to be careful here, and it's just run through. Sorba Thomas has done really well again there, really, really well to get ahead of Callum Camps. Stopping that, just running through to the midfielder after a ricochet. Defended really well so far this game, Sorba, and that's an important part of this if we're going to play 3-5-2. Ronnie Jepson just sending some instructions to Rahmani Edmonds Green. I think he wants Town's midfield to get a bit more of a foothold in that area here. Neil likes Rahmani in that number 6 role, of course. There's a winner for Jaheim Headley again to that header, and he's got Crossdale for company. He's going to try and go around the outside, and he does. Good pace from Headley, and now he's to the byline. Crosses low towards Ward. Just rolls through. Sarcevic does well there and just clears the ball out of his box intelligently to Crossdale. Crossdale's got Rahmani Edmonds-Green for company, and Rahmani puts the ball out for a throw-in. Good play from Jaheim Headley there down the left-hand side. He got a little display of his ability on the ball. Danny Ward, I'm not so sure that's a free kick, but we'll some soft ones here. Kyle Noyle goes down pretty easily under the challenge. Wardy having a little laugh at that decision, but again, put his hands on the player, so it does give the opportunity. Horsfall again. He's a big part of how Stockport play, the central of the 3 centre-backs. He always drives out with the ball. Powell and Sarcevic really giving a licence to roam as well, with Madden leading the line up front. Like Karoma's given the role just to move around as he sees fit as well in this front 2 with Danny Ward. Here is Rydell again, the left wing back. Rydell tries the early cross towards Southern Hales, but Headley well positioned again to pick that one up. Here's Jack Radoni. He's got 2 men for company, Jack, so he has to go back to Ruffles, who sends the ball well down the left-hand side. Horsfall's going to return it. Much more height and less length. Crossdale rather hits him in the head, but Camps does well and wins the second ball. Matty Pearson with a good footing above, in front of Nick Powell there, and Radoni with good strength to see Powell off. Thomas tries to knock it into Kasumu, but the Callum Camps, the midfielder, wins that one. Not a great ball there from Powell, though. It's going to allow Matty Pearson to get up the line, although Matty can only knock it back as far as Rydell, who's been lively on that left-hand side so far. Kasumu goes back out to Crossdale. Town need to charge this one down, and Edmonds-Green just does enough to stop the shot there. Here's Southern Hales again. Not a good first touch, just forces him wide. Good left-footed cross, though. That's fantastic, and it's both centre-backs and Jack Radoni have to combine to get together. Unlucky from Danny Ward there. That was a tough one to take down. Gets a round of applause from the Town fans right in front of him there for the effort. Sarcevic dropping deep again to pick that ball up, and then Noyle, good on the ball, Noyle, you have to say. Good play from Stockport County. That's good play. Now Jaheim Headley's going to have to chase Sarcevic back, who's made a break down this right-hand side, and that's just hit Josh Ruffles there, and so you got Ruffles, Radoni's tried to pick out Karoma there, but Horsfall wise to it. Stockport back in possession. Stockport come forward with Callum Camps, the former Rochdale man. It feels like we play whichever side Callum Camps is at every pre-season. We played Fleetwood with him in it a few years ago. We've played, watching this ball here, we've played Rochdale, Fleetwood, both his former sides, as he's played for them. And here's Radoni with a great touch, actually, although he didn't really have an option up the line when he looked, and it's Southern Hales has managed to get it back, but Danny Ward just saying, just give it to my feet there. I think Jack was looking for a run down the line. Ward is saying, trust me with it. It's a shame because he did really well with the first bit, did Jack Radoni. Big season ahead for Jack. He did absolutely admirably in his first season in the Sky Bet Championship after his move from Wimbledon last season, but chance for him, he's done really well there as well to win that ball, and then Danny Ward does equally well to find Edmonds-Green, but Hellick punches the ball over halfway to Kasumu, and Kasumu with a nice turn. Karoma just can't take it in his stride there, and he has to check back. Lovely little turn from Kasumu, and a good pass forward from Hellick there to break the lines. David Kasumu receives the ball as well as any Town player. His way he receives it on the back foot is good. If we can get that final pass right with Kasumu, we can start making more of a contribution in the final third of the pitch. Here he is doing what he does well, though, and winning the ball back for Town. Crossdale just beats him to that one, and he's going to get another free kick. It looked distinctly to me like Sarcevic stood on the ball there, but another free kick to Stockport County. Town are giving a lot of fouls away this half so far. Some of them very warranted, some of them more questionable. Just over the half-hour mark. If you are just joining us late on HTTV, welcome along. It is Stockport County 0, Huddersfield Town 1 after half an hour here. Danny Ward opening the scoring inside 4 minutes. Possible that Powell was offside there because that was a free kick, but Stockport have it anyway, and here's Nick Powell up against Josh Ruffles. Ruffles does well, just closes the legs, and Jack Radoni tries to clear it, but it's bobbled back to Nick Powell. Powell tries to cross it towards Madden, who just momentarily got in front of Matty Pearson, but the ball is too long and it's out for a goal kick for Lee Nichols. Neil Warnock and Ronnie Jepson patrolling the technical area for the Terriers on that far side. Great to see Neil back at the club for another season, of course. Did an unbelievable job with us to keep us in the Sky Bet Championship over that 15-game spell last season. Town in possession here underneath us. Radoni has to go back to Ruffles under pressure. Hellick loves that check back, Michal Hellick. And Rahmani Evans-Green just got to be careful here because he's got two men for company. Just a little additional touch there. There's a bit of a loose touch, and Lee Nichols drives it forward as Ward competes with Fraser Horsfall. Karoma's read that pretty well, actually, and he's just gone behind. Don't you dare give a free kick. Well done. Josh Karoma's away. He's wrestled his man off the ball. Karoma shoots wide. Big chance for Josh Karoma, the type that you normally see him hit the net with. Did really well there to muscle Kyle Noyle off the ball and run clear, but should score there, of course, Josh. If he's going to miss one, I'd rather he missed that one. Town just going to switch on here because the ball's come forward early. Matty Pearson does really well to win that header above Nick Powell. Ruffles clips it forward. Noyles just caught Radoni, but Karoma's running into space again here now, Josh Karoma. He's got Fraser Horsfall of company, and this time makes absolutely no mistake. Goes into the opposite corner, sells the goalkeeper the dummy, and it's the second goal for Town. One for Josh Karoma. That's Stockport County 0, Huddersfield Town 2. Good play there in the build-up from Jack Radoni as well. Credit to Radoni. He won that 50-50 with Kyle Noyle, who's had a bad minute there, the Stockport man. He lost it to Karoma for that first effort and then lost out the 50-50 to Radoni there. Set Karoma clear. Josh not fazed by the miss just moments earlier. Goes inside the near post this time, and it's both strikers on the score sheet for the Terriers. Town may be looking for a striker, as Neil Warnock says, but it's both forwards on the score sheet here in the first 34 minutes at Edgeley Park. Good to see. Good finish from Josh as well. Karoma, such a dangerous player. Neil Warnock really has revitalised Josh Karoma, you have to say. Good touch from Madden there into Rydell's path. Karoma, of course, had that loan spell at Portsmouth in League One at the start of last season under Danny Cowley. Didn't work out as either party would have liked, I'm sure, as Madden curls harmlessly over the bar there. Josh didn't play, started off well at Portsmouth, but didn't establish himself in the team there. Came back to Town, going to be out of contract this summer. In came Neil Warnock, and the rest is history. Josh, in this form, as dangerous as anyone in the Sky Bet Championship. It's great to see him on the score sheet so often here in pre-season for the Town. Town fans behind us here just looking to us, looking fairly happy so far, as he would do. Jaheim Headley with another header forward there, wins against Southern Hales, who then hooks it forward. Edmonds-Green just returns it towards Headley. And then good foot in from Josh Ruffles, playing left centre-half today in that three. Good knockdown from Danny Ward, but no one reads it, and Camps hooks it forward. Hellick steps forward, and he's going to try and find Sorba Thomas with the crossfield again. He might have just overhit that one, but the intent is good, and Sorba was on his way as well. Thumbs up from Sorba Thomas, no surprise, because that could be an outlet for Town this season. Playing wing-back Sorba, but they want him as high as possible up the pitch. Give their wing-back the problem, don't let it be vice versa, and Rydell, to his credit, did track him all the way in there. Been a good battle that so far between Rydell and Thomas. Rydell, another signing from Fleetwood, joined in April 21. He played 35 games for Stockport in League 2 last season, so regular in the side. Matty Pearson just sending Kasumu away. I think he's going to look for a slightly longer one. He goes into Danny Ward. He's roughly the same position he scored from earlier. This time his shot is deflected off, I think it was Crossdale, and allows the keeper, Hinchliffe, to collect above his head. He looked distinctly offside, did Paddy Madden then to me, but Ruffles takes no chances, and Headley just taking a knock on the head there as Southern Hales just looked to try and challenge him. I think Jaheim's going to be okay. I think no intent from Southern Hales at all there. He's just fallen on Jaheim as they both slid off the pitch. Jaheim's just going to ask for the a bit of assistance from Ian Kirkpatrick, our head of medical, though it did look like a heavy one. Some of the Town fans remonstrating with the assistant on this near side, but there was no intent from Jaheim Edgeley getting a round of applause because he just crawled onto the pitch, sat on it so play can't continue. But to be fair to the referee, I don't think he's got any intent in continuing the play. When it's a head injury, you can't really take any chances. So. He's off the pitch now, Jaheim. With an angry shout there. Apologies if you did hear that language from one of the Stockport players who wanted it bringing to this near side while Jaheim Edgeley's off the pitch. They're saying they've got a man down. Josh Karoma, to be fair, is playing left wing back at the moment while Headley's receiving treatment. It looks like Jaheim's nose might be bleeding, actually. Yes, it is. He's right beneath us here, and he's got a facial wound, actually, as Jaheim after that. Yeah, so just momentarily here, Josh Karoma's dropped into left wing back. Danny Ward up front on his own for now, just while Headley receives treatment. I think Jaheim's going to be okay to carry on, but he's got blood. And as you know, you can't play with blood on your shirt or blood on your face. Sorba Thomas unnecessarily volleys that forward. The ball, I think, would have been out. Just apologises, he got that one a bit wrong. Jaheim Edgeley's back on his feet. He's just having to change his shirt here because of the blood on it. So Craig Sedgwick, one of the medical team, has run all the way around the pitch to give Jaheim a new number 15 shirt. Kudos to Andy Brook and the kit team for having the shirts available, all numbered as well, not just a numberless blood shirt. Town just a man down here at the moment, so no surprise that Stockport are in possession. Josh Karoma does well, just volleys that forward. Danny Ward as well, does really well, wins the ball in front of Toure, and he's going to chase his own flick down here. Jaheim Edgeley back on the pitch now, so Josh Karoma can go back up front. Glad that Jaheim's okay. Just entering the 39th minute here with Stockport in possession. I think that's Crossdale, yes it is, the midfielder. Shouts Macca and goes towards Macaulay Southern Hales, but it's gone out. And Jaheim Edgeley is going to be able to just steady the play down here and take this throw in due course. Run down the lines, a definite arm in the back from Crossdale there to Redoni. Redoni wins that second header, and then Josh Karoma and Kyle Noyle not making friends here in this game, you have to say. And Headley goes back to, Hellick goes back to Nichols, who very gently volleys out to Josh Ruffles. Ruffles, good ball into Wardy, and Wardy with a great spread of the play out to the space where Matty Pearson can stride towards halfway. Pearson tries to return the favour and go towards Karoma, and it forces Southern Hales to head that one out for a throw into Town midway into the Stockport half. Jaheim Edgeley just looking for an option here. No immediate rush, we're only 5 minutes until half-time. Edgeley just directing traffic. I think he's been trying to work space to give it back to Hellick, but Nick Powell's wise to that, so he goes down the line instead, and Noyle loses out physically to Karoma again there, and Karoma tries to go down the line. It's going to just flicks off Karoma there, the Horsfalls tackle, so it's a little cheeky flick from Noyle there as he goes past him. A couple of times Noyle was just out-muscled by Karoma. I don't think he took kindly to it. As he goes short to Sarcevic, who's come really deep on the pitch again, and Redoni sticks one of those big legs out and wins the ball, and it forces Stockport to go long, and Josh Ruffles challenges with Madden. Karoma with Camps, and Ruffles again just volleys that forward, and Karoma chests it down. That looks like a foul to me, but the referee not interested. Instead, Stockport with a good switch out to this near side for Sarcevic, although Ruffles does really well and wins the ball and goes back to Nichols, who just drifts it down the line towards Southern Hales. Stockport back in possession here, looking for a goal before the half-time interval as we get closer and closer. Ibu Toure with Kasumu for company, goes wide. Rydell and Thomas again, but Rydell not going to win a sprint with Sorba Thomas. Really defended that position well, Sorba Thomas, this half. Really impressive against Rydell. Wouldn't think it's his natural instinct to go that way, but he's done a fantastic job, Sorba, to his credit. Town back in action again Next Saturday, the final pre-season friendly before the Sky Bet Championship season gets underway against Heronvane. Tickets are on sale now online at htafc.com/tickets. We'd love to see you down there for the game against the Eredivisie side. Now then, almost got the wrong side of Fraser Horsfall there, Sorba Thomas, but he did well, did Horsfall, and he clips one down the line towards Madden, but Hellick wise to that. Matty Pearson feints the one down the line. It goes back to Lee Nichols. Lee goes out towards Danny Ward again. Danny Ward's going to go up with Horsfall. Horsfall's got a good few inches on Ward in terms of height, so he wins that one, but heads it out on the far side, so Sorba Thomas can take the throw in just inside. In fact, might be Pearson that's taking the throw in. I think Sorba wanted to give that to Matty's feet, but Matty only interested in taking the throw in, and he's just gone straight back to Sorba Thomas down the line. Good turn from Sorba, and good cross on his left foot, but Karoma goes down. He did put his hand in his back, did Southern Hales, to be fair, but it would have been a soft penalty had it been given. Don't think Josh truly believed he was getting that one either, in truth, but he wasn't going to win the header, so I suppose it's worth a try. Great pre-season. You get a real idea of whose voice is allowed on the pitch, and Michal Hellick wearing the skipper's armband today, just instructing traffic back here. Matty Pearson just basically nudges Powell out the way, and now here's Headley again, who can drive across Crossdale. Good play from James Headley, and now here's Radoni, who's just moved out to this vacant left-hand side. Karoma to Ruffles. Town just interested in keeping the ball here, and Kasumu with a nice first touch there to get free of Sarcevic. It's a good ball as well to Kasumu, and that bit of a lunging tackle there, but Stockport managed to come away with it. Good clearance down the line from Southern Hales. Paddy Madden's got his hands all over Josh Ruffles there. The referees and the officials not really giving Town much here at the moment, it does feel like. Here's Sarcevic again, collects that header forward from Horsfall. Sarcevic all over the pitch, really giving the freedom just to roam, and he's got the ball again here now, but it goes back to Crossdale, the deepest of the three central midfielders. So they've got that one a bit wrong, and Karoma's adjudged to have handballed that one. I mean, it was slapped at him from about a yard, but it's probably fair enough. It's going to give Stockport the chance to send the centre-backs up here for what could be a final significant attack of the half. It's in the 44th minute now. Don't tend to get loads added in pre-season friendlies either, although we have had an injury to Jaheim Headley that he recovered from. And Southern Hales, the Stockport man, of course, as well. Those two injuring each other. Headley breaking off the defensive wall there just to look after his friend Southern Hales. Sarcevic is going to look towards the back post towards Horsfall, and Horsfall you would fancy would win this above Jack Radoni. He does, but Town clear it out towards the Stockport half and get the defensive line up. Here's Sarcevic looking for Southern Hales again, and it's a header to the edge of the box by Headley. Headley, oh, it's a good touch from Southern Hales. This is dangerous. Great tackle great block from Michal Hellick there. Really good, because that opened up for Southern Hales for a second there, but Hellick got really long legs, Michal, hasn't he, and stretched one of them out to good effect there. Nichols comes out to help Matty Pearson. That's a good ball down the line as well, and Ibu Toure does well to win the initial header. Powell's a strong figure, Nick Powell. He's bigger than you think in real life when you see him. He's a powerful lad. Here's Rydell, tries to flick it round the corner, and Edmonds Green gets a foot in to get it away. Sarcevic picks it back up. Headley's got an overload here, so he just has to back off momentarily, but goes to engage Southern Hales now. And now it's a bit of a wrestling there from Ruffles does well, actually, just to stop that cross. Yeah, really good defending, Josh Ruffles, and that's enough for the referee at half-time. Good half from the Terriers there. Goals from Danny Ward and Josh Karoma mean it's Stockport County 0, Huddersfield Town 2 at the interval. We'll see you again in 15 minutes. Welcome back to Edgeley Park for the second half of this afternoon's pre-season friendly between Stockport County and Huddersfield Town. Thanks for joining us on HTTV. We're delighted to have you along this afternoon. Teams just coming out for the second half. If you missed the opening 45 minutes, it's Stockport County 0, Huddersfield Town 2 at the interval. Goals from Danny Ward and Josh Karoma giving Town a lead going into this second half. Just looking at the team, we're not expecting any changes during the interval, and it looks like that's the case. We would expect some changes around the hour mark. Stockport just out here as well. I'm just having a quick look around Stockport's team, and I believe it's an entirely unchanged set of players for both sides this half. Quite unusual in a pre-season friendly. Town scored 2 good goals in the first half. Danny Ward, if you saw him score that all-important goal against Sheffield United at the end of last season at the John Smith Stadium, just watch that again because it was pretty much the exact same goal. And then Josh Karoma, not a typical Josh Karoma goal. So he had one that he pushed across towards the far post that he put wide moments before scoring. He went in the near post this time, so he kind of bluffed the keeper and put it straight inside, pretty much straight ahead of him where he was facing, like the old sensible soccer games. But good goals nonetheless, and good to see both the Town strikers on the score sheet in this opening 45. Town playing 3-5-2 here today with Josh Ruffles at left centre-back, Rahmani Edmonds-Green in the holding midfield position, and Karoma and Ward up front. Town are going to kick off in the second 45 minutes as well. Josh Karoma just waiting for the referee's whistle. Mr. Andrew Kitchen in charge today. Wouldn't be surprised to see this get switched towards Sorba Thomas quite early here. Ryan Rydell probably feeling the same. The Stockport left wing-back has been an outlet we've tried to use fairly frequently in the opening 45. Referee just checking with both goalkeepers before getting us underway. There's the referee's whistle. In fact, I've said that, Matty goes the other way entirely, goes towards Jaheim Headley, who just blocked out of it by Southern Hales. They've had a real battle, those two, in the opening 45 minutes, Jaheim Headley and Macaulay Southern Hales, the Stockport right wing-back. A couple of fouls either side. The only treatments for injuries we had all half were for tackles between those two players. Here's Town as Radoni wins the opening ball. Karoma tried to just flick it in towards Path, and he just got it a bit wrong. In fact, it looks like there's been a slight clash of heads off the initial header there. I'm just looking who it is that's down. Might be, no, it's not Sars, it's Nick Powell actually, the former Stoke City man who's just on his haunches there. Helic just goes over to apologise if he caught him. Helic did win the header clean and there was no suggestion of foul play. As well as a breaking play, Town in the Acid Lime kit today, of course. It is on sale now at shop.htafc.com. We're back in action against SV Heerenveen, the Dutch side, next Saturday at the John Smith Stadium, 3 p.m. kick-off. So your last chance to see Town in pre-season action before we get underway at Plymouth Argyle on the 5th of August. We're back underway now as the referee plays the drop ball and just gives it straight back to Ben Hinchliffe, the Stockport keeper. Danny Ward just going to go and ensure that he can't advance any further. Good strike down the pitch towards Powell, but Ruffles wins the initial header. Now here's Callum Camps, the midfielder. Tries to go inside, but I think Josh Ruffles just slams it against Jaheim Headley there, so it's going to be a corner to Stockport County on that far side. Southern Hales moves quickly, looking for potentially the short one to Callum Camps, but fair play again. Sorba Thomas was wise to that. So they're just going to set this up properly, and it's Rydell, the left footer, who's going over to deliver the in-swinger. Town have got Danny Ward sweeping the near post area again, as they always do. Going man for man in the area otherwise. It's gone towards the... oh, it's a good effort actually, and Horsfall gets there ahead of Matty Pearson and volleys over the crossbar. Real threat at set pieces, like we said, Fraser Horsfall. Just stuck out a leg in front of Matty Pearson there, and Town have played that one quickly, and they've gone towards Josh Karoma. Karoma just... he tries to use his strength, but fair play to Toure there, who did just enough to nick the ball out from in front of him. And Southern Hales goes down the line towards Paddy Madden, who's made a good run into the channel and gets there ahead of Michal Helic. Goes back towards Southern Hales. It's not a great cross from Southern Hales, and it allows Edmonds-Green to clear the ball out to that left-hand side. Town win the ball back. Headley clips the ball down the line, Warden. Ooh, wow. Don't know quite what's happened there, to be honest. I think Karoma's maybe lost his foot in there a little bit, but as Horsfall's gone for the header, I think he's just taken his legs out from underneath him, to be honest. It looks fairly amicable down there. Josh just staying around to make sure Fraser's okay. Before that, it was Ward and Noyle were having a real wrestle at the first ball. Been a few challenges here today. It's not been your typical pre-season friendly. There's been a few tackles between both sets of players that have been fairly stern. Don't hate that. We're only a couple of fortnights away from the new season now, and got to get ready. Neil Warnock just making notes on that far side next to the fourth official. He keeps a little book, Neil. He occasionally jots notes down, a little bit of paper, should I say, where he jots notes down, just little things in the game that he wants to bring up post-match. Pearson and Powell going after the same ball again. Ruffles well placed to clear up towards halfway. Toure wins the initial header and Sarcevic the second, but Sorba Thomas takes control then and just strides forward. Does pretty well there, Sorba, actually, but eventually the third Stockport player manages to halt his advance. Noyle knocks a long one towards Southern Hales. It looks like it's going to stay in, actually, and Southern Hales falls over with Headley near to him, and the ball's going to roll out for a goal kick. Southern Hales and Headley have had a real battle today. There's not many people who outpace Jaheim Headley down the wing this season. Strong customer, Jaheim, as well. Really knows how to position his body to lever opponents off the ball, and it looks like that's where he did there, right in the far corner to our camera position, so hard to see exactly what happened, but referee and assistant happy enough with that. It's a goal kick. Lee Nichols drives the ball out towards Headley and Southern Hales again, and Southern Hales just nudges Headley under the ball on this occasion. Not much flow to this half so far. Both teams not really keeping hold of the ball as Hinchliffe drives the ball out towards Southern Hales. And Ruffles unfortunately tries to get out of the way, but just has to nod the ball in the end. Stockport take the throw in quickly, but Powell misdirects his volley back towards Southern Hales. So it's throw into town now. Jaheim Headley takes it quickly, goes back to Josh Ruffles. Look, done well so far at left-sided centre half of the three again, Josh Ruffles. I think we'll see him there quite a bit this season, the way Neil Warnock talks about him. Driven ball, great ball from Matty Pearson out towards Danny Ward. Ward may have just stood. The referee's playing prison rules all of a sudden. I think Ward stood on Callum Camps as he just tried to get his body between Camps and the ball, and then the defender went through Ward a little bit, but the referee happy for play to continue. Up towards Ruffles again. Powell wins the initial header, but Hellick's on hand to return it. Now then, Town could get this down now. Ward volleys the ball between two Town players, Radoni and Kasumu. Karoma puts Toure under pressure. Done well there, Ibu Toure. Paddy Madden then volleys the ball out for a throw into Town. Ibu Toure, an interesting player, has joined from Salford City this summer. Plays international football for Gambia. He's a left back. Generally, well, good touch, Josh Karoma down this now side. And he skips past Toure, works the space. Good ball in low, and Kasumu was near there, but it's gone out for a corner. Good to see David Kasumu making runs into the box as well, and Karoma pulled out wide there. Karoma just having a quick look over his shoulder to see if the short one was on, but he's going to allow Sorba Thomas to deliver it into the penalty area. The defenders are up as well, barring Josh Ruffles and Jaheim Headley. Kasumu on the edge of the box patrolling. Hand up, and he floats one into the danger zone, and Horsfall wins the initial ball, and now it was that Powell's come away with it, and he plays the ball to the outside of his boot towards Madden, and Madden just gets past Ruffles momentarily, and here's Sarcevic, knocks it down the line. He's trying to find Southern Hales. Michal Hellick just leaves him out of the way, although fair play to Southern Hales, he did quite well there, and he's put one towards the back post, and Thomas has done really well again, just gets underneath Rydell, and Rydell can only direct the header comfortably wide. And actually you just see there Danny Ward, Josh Karoma both applauding Sorba Thomas for the job he's done on the back post. Good delivery on him, Macaulay Southern Hales. Left and right foot, it looks like. Again, if you're just joining us for the second half, it's about 1,000 Town fans here today. It's a fantastic effort from the people just under the camera gantry here. thank you for your support, and thank you for watching us as well on HGTV today. And that's not really worked out so far. That ball out towards Jaheim Headley. James just getting eased under the ball by the defender every time it comes his way. Something to work on. Now Camps has to go all the way back to his goalkeeper. Matty Pearson's saying that the striker was offside there, but ball really pinging around the two teams at the moment. No fluency to this second half at all so far from either side. Hellick wins the header. Jaheim Headley tries to keep the ball in, but the assistant on the far side is saying it's gone out for a throw-in to Stockport County. Again, we get to the hour mark and we're not a million miles away from that now. Expect changes. We are in the 54th minute here at Edgeley Park. Pitch is stunning, by the way, today, and we've been pretty lucky because despite the forecast that everyone's eyeing very closely because of the Ashes just down the road, but we've had no rain here during the time of play so far, it was tipping it down on the way here. So Fraser Horsfall heads another one out for a throw-in. Yeah, Josh Ruffles is accused of catching the ball in play there, but in the end, assistant says it's fine. Ruffles just gets in between Sarcevic and the ball. Now that ball just lifted forward, and it's a bad touch initially from Toure, and Karoma's sniffing around to see if there's any potential of getting hold of it, but Rydell gets hold and goes back to Crossdale. Crossdale into Camps. Jack Radone is trying to win that ball back. Got a bit lucky there. That ball wasn't for Sarcevic, I'm telling you, but he dropped deep to get it, and now Crossdale goes into Nick Powell. Powell plays it out to Toure again, who's got Josh Karoma for company still. Toure just rolls it into Rydell. Good tackle from now Kasumu trying to stride past two men there, burst between them, but Rydell does enough just to get his body in the way and win possession back for his team. Now here's Noyle, who's a right back by trade, but he's playing right-sided centre-half today. Danny Ward nudges him over, and it's a free kick to Stockport just inside the town half. Stockport fans getting a chant together for the first time this afternoon as well, as it's played short to Crossdale. Again, Crossdale manages to find Nick Powell, who's come really deep again, Powell, to pick up possession, and then he tries to drive a ball in towards Southern Hales, but Headley had tracked that run perfectly, and it rolls dead for a goal kick. Stockport struggling to create here. Town haven't created anything of note this second half either at the moment. It's been not a lot going on. Expect changes on the hour mark for the Terriers. I'm just looking, it looks like Chris Maxwell, our new goalkeeper, might be getting his gloves on, ready to come on for his debut, non-competitive debut in town colours. As it is for now, it's Lee Nichols about to take this goal kick. Good win from Horsfall again there. He's going to go out for a throw-in on this near side. Far side, should I say, sorry. Josh Ruffles taking his time, just eyeing up his options. Sorba Thomas really high here at the moment, our right wing back as well. It goes in towards Horsfall and Noyle, and Horsfall wins another ball. He does win a lot of those aerial duels, as you'd expect. Ruffles loses out there to Powell. Ball just clipped aimlessly forward from Crossdale again though, and it's out for a goal kick to Town. 3 men apiece in central midfield today in these 3-5-2 systems, and it's really congested in there. Both sides not really getting a foothold in that area. The joy for Town has come from getting the ball early into the strikers. We've done the damage here. It is Stockport County 0, Huddersfield Town 2 if you're just joining us. Lee Nichols drives the ball more centrally this time towards Danny Ward, although Noyle wins a good header above Wardy. Ruffles returns it down the line. Headley keeps it in, but it's hooked forward by Noyle again, and now here's Matty Pearson. Does win the header. Noyle volleys that back, but it's a good play from Horsfall there, and it's real back and forth stuff from both sides at the moment. Karoma just sidling round there, trying to make sure that Horsfall didn't check outside and get any freebies. Kasumu just breaks cover there, and now it's down the line from Crossdale towards Rydell, but Thomas again has tracked that run, and he's given a corner. Referees letting a lot go today, I have to say, particularly for preseason friendly. Thomas, you would think, would get a free kick there in the Sky Bet Championship. Just got his body between Rydell and the ball, felt the shove in his back and went down, and then referee's having absolutely none of it. He said corner to Stockport County, so there we are. Macaulay Southern Hales over the right footer to take this from our right-hand side, so expect an in-swinger. There's Madden and Powell around Lee Nichols. Yeah, balls towards the back post. Good win from Matty Pearson ahead of Horsfall there. Just good strength from the Town defender. Someone needs to get out there though. Josh Ruffles has had to break to get out to the Stockport man now. Here's Toure. Toure with a good cross towards the back post, and that's a great header from Paddy Madden. Oh, it's offside. It's offside again. It was interesting how Madden had got free of all the Town defenders at the back stick there, and it appears he'd gone too early. So, yeah, if you're offside, you will get space, won't you? So, scoreboard still thinks it's a County goal. The operator's going to have to calm himself there because it has been given for offside immediately by the. In fact, the scoreboard says 2-1. So he's got well ahead of himself, whoever is operating the scoreboard. See how long it takes him to figure it out. Yep, there we go. An ironic cheers from the Town fans as it goes back to 0 on the Stockport thing. It was a good ball from Toure, but not the first time that Madden's been given offside today. Little let off for Town, but again, if you're offside, you're offside. Here's Jaheim Headley, who's just kept the ball in. Oh, no, he hasn't kept the ball in on that left side. So throw into Stockport, just inside the Stockport half. Really good ball from Toure there in that second phase from the set play, but still a clean sheet for the Terriers so far. Madden goes back, but then can we have a ref? Any chance? No? Okay, no free kick either for what looked like a fairly blatant pull on Karoma, but it's back with Hinchliffe and it goes forward again up towards Michal Helik. Helik wins the header. Now Danny Ward, the ball rolls to him. Ward tries to lift it down the line, but Kasuma was just checking back from an offside position there, so rolls out for a throw in to Stockport County on that far side. Toure looks free over here and he's going to get it, Ibu Toure. First touch isn't as clean as he'd like, but Kasumu some way off him. Does enough there, David, to force him backwards though. Noyle is the free man on this far side, and you just find Noyle there, Horsfall. Looks like Stockport readying a few substitutions of their own here as the hour mark passes. We'll bring you those as soon as they make it onto the pitch. In the end, at the moment, it's Toure advances over halfway with the ball for the home side. Here's Crossdale, the midfielder. Back to Camps. Good pressure from Jack Radoni, but it's a nice little step there from Callum Camps. Radoni and Kasumu wins the ball well, and now here's Matty Pearson. Good play from David Kasumu. Lee Nichols drives the ball forward towards Danny Ward. Ward and Noyle battling again. Second ball drops to Kasumu. Kasumu into Sorba Thomas. Kasumu. Sorba Thomas just bundles Rydell to the foul. Oh, there we go, we're through. A nice Jack Radoni with a chance to make it 3. Jack Radoni! Fantastic finish, comprehensive stuff from Jack. Well done to the referee as well, because he could have pulled that back when Kasumu got cleaned out, but he let play continue. He let Town put Radoni clear, and Radoni makes absolutely no mistake. Stockport County 0, Huddersfield Town 3. Great finish from Jack Radoni. Really good stuff there, yeah, really good play on there. It was Karoma that put Radoni through, we're just seeing on a replay here, and it's a fantastic finish from the midfielder, and I think that's going to be the end of the afternoon for many Town players here as we're in the 62nd minute, because there's a horde of subs ready. Big round of applause here as many of our senior players go off the pitch. Stockport doing the same actually, so it's all change on the hour mark with Town 3-0 up here. I'll be able to tell you in a second who it is that's coming on to complete the game. We do have 11 subs, so it's potentially everyone here. We'll have to see. Kyle Hudlin making it onto the pitch. Many Town fans won't have seen Kyle play, the tallest outfield player in professional football in England at 6'9". It's all change here. So Chris Maxwell on for his Town debut in goal. Yuta Nakayama, great to see Yuta back following that long-term Achilles injury. I'm just looking, Sorba Thomas still on the pitch at right wing back, so we've kept someone free. Pat Jones now playing left wing back. Cian Harrett's getting a big cheer there. He's been prolific in pre-season so far, the striker. So yeah, looks like a 10 changes for Town during that break there, so we're just looking who's on the pitch. It's Chris Maxwell in goal, back three of Nakayama, Loic Aina and Brodie Spencer. Pat Jones and Sorba Thomas as wing backs. Then it's Scott High, Josh Osterfield in a young central midfield duo. Just keep an eye on this as Stockport break clear. Brahima Diarra just in front of them. And then it's Cian Harrott and Kyle Hudlin up front for Town. Town fans, you can hear the murmurs as they get a first look at Kyle Hudlin's sheer height. I tell you, Kyle is no slouch with his feet. He scores a lot of goals that are like typical striker goals. Tap-ins, good movement in the box, getting on the end of things. Good first touch for Chris Maxwell there, collecting that through ball. Here's Brodie Spencer, the Northern Ireland international. Tries to find Diarra. Diarra's cut out by trialist A for Stockport County, who's on the pitch now. Stockport have made a load of changes themselves. Kyle Hudlin and Scott High pressing the Stockport players here, and that's a lively ball back from the trialist to Henchliff, who drives the ball forward towards Yuta Nakayama. Yuta ducks as he gets a good call from Maxwell there. It goes straight through to Chris Maxwell, former Blackpool, Preston North End keeper. Really nice lad as well, Maxie, I must say. He made a really good first impression around the place yesterday. There's Kyle Hudlin, wins his first header and his second header. Then Josh Osterfield nods one into the air. Town tries to find Cian Harrott, but through to Hinchliff, who has remained on the pitch, as is Ibu Toure, this man here. Looks like Neil Byrne is now the central centre-back on the 30-year-old Irishman here, just advancing forward. They try and drive the crossfield ball out towards, I think it's Noyle, who's now moved to right wing-back. Here's Pat Jones facing him, but Pat's not a wing-back by trade. Well done, Josh Osterfield, just nipping across to get that ball. But made some impact going forward. He was unplayable against the Liscard lads. The Tannoy announcer trying to go through all the subs here, and that's an unenviable task, as we made 10 and Stockport made several too. So Stockport made fewer than us, it looks like. So we'll see Callum Camps on the pitch. Here's Loic Aina, who had a really successful loan at Dundee United the second half of last season, played regularly for Dundee. Josh Osterfield with a big header. He's another one who's had a loan. He was at Morecambe the second half of last season in Sky Bet League One. Probably the first time some of you have seen Josh as well. Academy graduate, midfielder. Filling out now finally, Josh as well. He's always been tall. He's not always been the stockiest, and he's starting to fill out now a little bit. Here is Osterfield, picks up the second ball. Osterfield back to Yuta Nakayama. Fantastic to see the Japanese international back on the pitch this week and again today. Here's Sorba Thomas, who's still on the pitch. Scott High's made a good run forward to the right wing back position and intelligently knocks it back to Sorba Thomas. Spencer and Loic Aina come across the pitch here to Yuta Nakayama. Yuta into Josh Osterfield, who's got Camps for company. Still got Camps for company, Josh. Plays a good ball out to Brodie Spencer. He's got Sorba Thomas for company on this right-hand side. Sells Scott High short there to Sorba, but equally good reaction from Sorba Thomas to pressure the Stockport man into giving away the throw-in there. Sorba Thomas goes back to Brodie Spencer. Brodie just loses his footing there as he tries to chest the ball down and has enough to play off Connor Evans to win the throw-in for Town just inside the Town half. Kyle Hudlin goes towards, going to go over everyone, and then here Cian Harrott, who's done really well there, Cian, and now good strength. Oh, referee. Hudlin and Akil Wright, Harrott and Akil Wright both grabbing each other there as the ball thing, and for some reason he gives it against the Town striker. Strange game today, the ref, but there you go. Some more subs coming here for Stockport County as Nakayama shields the ball. Loic Aina looking for another good take there from Yuta. Now Diarra tries to spin towards the touchline. He's kept that in somehow, Brahima, and he's then brought his man down, unfortunately. Town fans getting frustrated behind us here as the referee gives a series of what you can describe as niggly free kicks against the men in acid line, but play continues. It's out with Akil Wright, who plays a good ball in field here now, and now it's a pretty tame shot, and Maxwell does really well, keeps the ball in there. Maxwell, no, the linesman, who was a good 5 yards behind play, says it's gone out. Hey-ho. There's going to be more subs from Stockport here in a second. Might see some of the guys that started the game coming off. Beforehand, Town have got to defend a corner, and it's Rydell who's remained on the pitch, who's over there with Ollie Crankshaw. He sends Crankshaw away, so Rydell's going to send this in-swinger in. Referee's not happy with something Loic Aina's doing with Neil Byrne. Neil Byrne, sorry. Byrne, far more experienced than our young teenage Frenchman. That won't bother Loic, let me tell you. He's robust, Loic, let's put it that way. Right, he has gone short here to Crankshaw, the former Bradford City man. Diarra tries to get across. Sorba Thomas with a good header at the near post, and now here's Cian Harrott who takes the ball down. Pokes it towards Kyle Hudlin. Hudlin's got Thomas on his outside. He's going to bring this ball forward. He tries to play the ball out towards Pat Jones, but he just plays it a bit short in the end, and it's allowed Evans to collect the ball. Diarra up to him though to try and win the ball back. Now it's drifted, and Brodie Spencer's going to get there. Well done, Brodie, and Brodie Spencer wins the second ball as well. Now Sorba Thomas, oh, poor ball there from Cian Harrott, but it's going to go out for a throw into Town, and that might be the next set of substitutions for Stockport, perhaps. Just trying to figure out which sub for Town hasn't come on, actually. Jordan Rhodes, of course. Still on the bench. Yeah, we are going to have the second set of substitutions from Stockport County. Now, 69th minute now, it is still, well, it's now Stockport County 0, Huddersfield Town 3, if you're just joining us. Goals from Danny Ward, Josh Karoma and Jack Radoni have given Town a healthy lead against the one of the fancied sides in Sky Bet League 2 this season. Jordan Smith coming on there amongst the Stockport subs. He's the man who was at Town for the second half of last season, providing cover for Lee Nichols and Thomas Vashlik, of course. Really nice man, Jordan, as well. Lots of changes here. I'm not even going to try and step you through the Stockport changes, but looks now like every lad who started the game is now off. Here's Sorba Thomas into Brahima Diarra. Plays a good one too with Sorba. Flicks it into Kyle Hudlin. Hudlin feeds it round the corner for Sorba Thomas. It's a ball back towards the penalty spot. Diarra picks it up. Diarra volleys, but he can't quite get a clean connection on it with one of the trialists in close attendance. Good play there from Sorba Thomas, from Kyle Hudlin. Been really good today, Sorba Thomas. Really good to see him in this kind of form for the Terriers in pre-season. Smith clobbers the ball forward towards Nakayama. Nakayama wins the initial header. Here's Pat Jones. Pat Jones, slightly heavy touch, but the Stockport man can't keep it in. Nakayama just taking his time with his throw-in on that far side. He's got Aina to go back to. Diarra's just come short here and goes back to his compatriot Loic Aina. Good friends, those two. Maxwell out to Brodie Spencer, who's got space to advance into. Spencer goes to Cian Harrott. Don't think that was a pass, it almost ended up being one, and now Stockport, through their trialist, go back towards Byrne. Cian Harrott's chasing the goalkeeper all the way down. In fact, Kyle Hudlin suddenly gets interested as well, and the attention of those two forces Jordan Smith to kick the ball out just on halfway for a throw into Town. Young side here now, out for the Terriers, some really talented young players. Yuta Nakayama, one of the veterans on the pitch at the moment. Other than that, not a lot of experience around. Sorba Thomas, the exception, of course, and then Diarra and Thomas play 1-2, but Thomas plays it off a stricken Stockport man who was laid on the pitch, and now Stockport have it back. And now Brodie Spencer, really good defending. Brodie Spencer, wow, that was a strong challenge. I tell you what, Brodie really didn't give any there. The 15 and Brodie Spencer went in very hard. Ethan Pye with each other. Now here's Yuta Nakayama. Nakayama with a good win, and he brings it forward. He's got Cian Harrott out to his left. It's not a great pass to Cian, but he's going to go on his left. Harrott strikes. It's just deflected wide. Fair play to Ethan Pye, the number 15. He's got up and got on with it, because that was a strong challenge between him and Brodie Spencer. You haven't seen Brodie play before. He does not give up on 50-50s. Grew up just outside Belfast, did Brodie. He's a tough lad. Loves a 50-50 challenge, will not shirk anything, and you could see that from that challenge. Pre-season friendly, no quarter given with that tackle. Anyway, it's a corner to Town on this near side. Sorba Thomas, Brahima Diarra just coming out, see if they want to work a short one. There is another trialist in close attendance if they did want to work the short one. Sorba Thomas drifts one towards the far post, and then Spencer's trying to get up for it, but it's a good touch from Pat Jones as he collects the second ball here. And Pat Jones tries to get past two men. He's just shadowed out of it there by the number 27, which is Crankshaw. Stockport have worked this fairly well, although Yuta then bring it back. And now here's Hudlin trying to get onto his favoured right foot. Hudlin, oh, he tries to push it to Diarra, but it's Diarra then tried to make a run forward at the same time. Here's the trialist with Sorba Thomas nearby. Brodie Spencer wins the header into Pat Jones. Pat Jones just eased out of it by Akil Wright there. Now Evans plays it forward to Crankshaw on this Town left. Crankshaw just checks back with Jones herring back to try and take the ball off him. Evans and Crankshaw play 1-2, and now he is Wright. Crankshaw back in possession. Out to the trialist who's playing central midfield. Here's Byrne, the centre-back. Byrne out to Pye. Kyle Hudlin gets a foot on it. Brodie Spencer heard the call late there from Maxwell, so he's taken no chances. Headed it out, don't mind that. If he's not certain, it's the right thing to do as a defender. Here's Pye, who seems okay after that heavy challenge with Brodie Spencer. And now Scott High's done well. He wins the ball. Oh, referee, man. Assistant referee. He's got a better view than me, so I'll should stop moaning. I thought Scott had kept that in there, but assistant has none of it. 22, Ashton Mee just tried to run off the back of Scott High there, but he's read it fairly well. Here is Mee, 17-year-old. Scott High does well, just gets a deflection on it, and now here's Josh Osterfield. Osterfield clips it forward towards Kyle Hudlin. That's a foul from Byrne. Hudlin does really well, actually. He's just flicks it into Sorba Thomas's path. Well done, Kyle Hudlin, he did beautifully there. And now here's Sorba Thomas, goes past Pye. Tries to deliver to the back post. Hudlin can't quite get there after doing pretty well, but Pat Jones uses his pace to pick that ball up. And now Pat crosses towards the near post, right, heads clear. Osterfield's going to win that second ball, although it's knocked down, and now the trialists combine, actually, and it's a decent ball down the line there towards Oluwafe, the striker, but Loic Aina cleans up. Now Osterfield. Spencer's got a man in close attendance, and the defenders work it well there, and now here's Scott High. Well done, Loic Aina. Punches that pass into central midfield. Sorba Thomas tight to this right-hand side here, and now tries to find Scott High. It was a bit of an ambitious pass. Now here's Brahima Diarra. Diarra just plays it into Scott High. Scott's looking for an out ball, and he has to go all the way back to Loic Aina, and needs to be careful here because he's got two men in attendance. Takes no chances. Loic goes back to Maxwell. Maxwell drives the ball forward towards halfway. Cian Harrop with a great win above Byrne. And now he knocks it into High, and High's got Diarra inside. He's got Thomas outside him. He goes forward, Scott High, actually. He goes onto his left foot. Scott High shoots, and it's curled. Sorba Thomas applauds it. I like that. In fact, there's a Cian Harrop's just got clobbered there by Byrne, just in the centre circle after he won that header. Good play from Scott High there, positive. Used the run of Thomas as a decoy, went himself, tested the keeper on his left foot. Don't hate that at all. And the Stockport have gone forward towards Oluwafe. Tries to get there ahead of Loic Aina, and he can't keep the ball in, so it's a goal kick. Shepherded out by Aina there. The young Parisian. Good positive play there from Scott High. He's not been involved with the first team in pre-season games up till today. Did well there, Scotty. Maxwell goes short to Loic Aina, the middle of the three centre-backs here, and Loic steps out into midfield. Just goes back to Brodie Spencer. Spencer will take no chances. He's got Sorba Thomas on his outside, wanting the ball, but takes no risk there, goes to Maxwell. He goes up towards, he heard Ronnie Jepson there say Kyle, and Kyle Hudlin wins the header. Now here's Diarra. Diarra tries to find Harrop, but Hudlin's going to pick that up and go out to Pat Jones. Here's Pat Jones now, the dangerous Welsh winger. Pat goes inside onto his right foot, just checks back again, just gets his body in the way. Needs to shuffle it back to Josh Osterfield there. Osterfield goes back to High. High drifts the ball out to Sorba Thomas, who's come out to this wing. Brahima Diarra's done really well there to play the 1-2 with Sorba, and he tries to shoot on his left, but the half volley goes wide. Lots of applause for the effort, though, the positive intent. Sorba and Brahima have a little laugh there, because Sorba absolutely fizzed that ball in towards Brahima's head. He did really well just to cushion it down back to Sorba's path. Some positive intent there from the likes of Scott High, from Sorba Thomas. Cian Harrop's just going to come out here and force Pye to knock it long. Loic Aina's knocked it down, and the trialist now on this side is going to try and run past Brodie Spencer. He does well, a good pace there from the trialist. Loic Aina really well positioned there at the near post to get rid of that ball, and he uses his strength well, and now he finds his friend Brahima Diarra, and Brahima just skips past people like they stood still. What? And it's found Kyle Hudlin. Can Hudlin finish? Hudlin! Fantastic goal from Huddersfield Town. And the town fans love it behind us here because they've seen the youngsters combine there. Aina into Diarra. Diarra, fantastic through ball, set Hudling clear, and the big man makes absolutely no mistake. That's a fourth for Huddersfield Town in the 78th minute. Stockport County 0, Huddersfield Town 4. Real back to front effort this here from Town. Aina finds Diarra. Diarra with a fantastic ball, just draws Akil right forward before slipping it behind him towards Kyle Hudlin. I said Kyle Hudlin doesn't just score headers. Don't be fooled by the big man's height. He scores good goals, and that's a fantastic striker's finish from the big striker. Doing himself no harm with moments like that. You do wonder if the increase to 9 substitutes this season in the Sky Bet Championship will help players like Kyle Hudlin get on the bench, make an impact at Sky Bet Championships level this year. Look, it's a pre-season friendly. The scores don't really matter at all, to be honest, but it's lovely to see Town in the goals here today against a really good team, Stockport County. They'll be up there in League 2 this season. It'll be a big surprise if they're not. And here they are now on the attack. Here's the trialist again, who showed his turn of pace earlier on, just before Town scored. Tried to play a 1-2. Instead it comes out to number 15, and Maxwell claims it fairly easily there. Ethan Pye just drifted across towards the near post, and Maxwell momentarily looked for Thomas's run, but decides against it. Maxwell sends the defenders away. Now Hudlin again, great strength from the big man. He's got 2 for company, but now, oh, what a take from Diarra. Diarra now, he comes onto his left foot. He's got Pat Jones on his outside. Pat Jones tries the little fluff. Diarra, love it if Brehima scores, just wide. Being given the number 11 shirt this season, Brehima Diarra. We know Neil Warnock likes him. He was involved in 10 of Neil Warnock's 15 games last season, and you can see why with the assist for that goal. He's just such an exciting player, the 20-year-old. Marley under-23 international. Can do things that you can't teach. Just got an unbelievable ability on the football. Doesn't always get the final pass right, of course. Who does? But he affects play, he draws defenders. He's so strong in possession as well. Oh, Brodie Spencer wins the first ball, and Diarra plays it out to Sorba Thomas. Thomas down the line towards Hudlin. I don't think Kyle was quite prepared for that, so Byrne gets there ahead of him and flicks the ball out. Cian Harrott with a good run down the line to pick up this throw-in from Sorba Thomas, and Akil Wright knocks the ball behind, so it's good play from Cian Harrott there. It's a good pre-season. Another one of Town's young striking options. Neil Warnock did an interview recently. He's made no secret of his desire to bring another striker in, but in the same breath made sure he mentioned some of these young forwards because they've made an impact for him in pre-season so far. Sky Bet Championship, a different level, we all know this, but Kyle Hudlin, Cian Harrott have not done themselves any harm with some of the goals they've scored this pre-season. Kyle, especially so today. Here's Sorba Thomas, drifts the ball towards the back post. Aina was up there for the header, but a defender gets there first, and Crankshaw's trying to keep it in, and does keep it in, the winger on that far side. But Diarra was right out there trying to win the ball back off Stockport, and it's a good recovery from the Town players. They've got back into the positions here. Now Scott High racing out to try and get that ball. Next played inside Sorba Thomas. Sorba Thomas with a really good tackle on the trialist, actually, does really well. He's got Loic Aina inside. A big round of applause for Sorba Thomas, whose defensive work has been stellar this afternoon. And then Aina drifts it in towards Cian Harrott, who's dragged to the floor by the defender, and he's not interested. And now it's a big crossfield ball across towards Pat Jones, and Pat Jones just turns the afterburners on there, trying to cut out any back pass to Jordan Smith. As it is, Stockport come forward, and Crankshaw goes with a big diagonal towards Oloafi, but Spencer wins the first header. Sorba Thomas is back to try and help out his young colleague. Here's the trialist again now. Spencer forces him backwards. Here's Pye, Ethan Pye comes towards it. The trialist, the second trialist, to Crankshaw as Stockport move the ball to their right-hand side. Pat Jones has won that ball, and Pat Jones will not be caught there, let me tell you. He's got space to run into. Just pauses for a second to get some teammates up in support because he's got nothing really. The two strikers are now in the box, and comes back inside sensibly to Diarra. Diarra to Scott High. Scott's got Sorba out to his right-hand side. A bit isolated, Sorba Thomas, who just knocks it back to Brodie Spencer. Spencer got Scott High inside. Scott's just going to try and look for Sorba Thomas here, but he's just waited too long there. Sorba actually turned his back to play.
Today's attendance is a fantastic 2,720
2,723 fans here today at Edgeley Park. I think nearly half of those are Huddersfield Town fans. We haven't got a final number of that, unfortunately, but Brodie Spencer and Scott High win the ball, and Brodie just travels across the pitch now and goes into midfield. Good run forward from Brodie Spencer. He's got Evans for company, and he drops it to Harrott, who finds Pat Jones. Pat Jones skins the man on the outside, lifts the ball up. Kyle Hudlin almost wins it. Here's Diarra. Diarra with the volley. Oh, he just gets it slightly wrong, Diarra. Brahima Diarra could shoot, as well as some of his colleagues. He'd be playing in the Premier League. There's time to work on that. He's only 20. Here's Ethan Pye, just cuts inside Sorba Thomas nicely there, and rolls it towards Oloafe, who's got Aina for company. Pye goes to the touchline for the trialist, and he flicks inside to Oloafe, who goes out to his left, but Yuta Nakayama's expertly placed to pick that ball out. Just really good to see Yuta back out on the pitch. He couldn't meet a nicer man than Yuta Nakayama. He worked diligently through his injury, that serious Achilles problem he had last season, and then Sorba Thomas sees that tackle from Pye coming and just lets him slide the ball out for a throw-in. We're in the final 10 minutes now. It's the 84th minute. If you're late to the party today, you will be able to watch this full game on YouTube, but it's Stockport County 0, Huddersfield Town 4 here. Ball is brilliant ball from Diarra out to Pat Jones on this side, but Pat's touch is seized upon by the defender. Pat Jones trying to get back alongside the number 16, and then Yuta comes in and helps out the young Welshman. Here's Crankshaw. It's Luke Partington on that side, and then Josh Osterfield is adjudged to have brought down Connor Evans on that far side, so it's going to be a free kick to Stockport and a chance for them to send the big men forward. Byrne and Wright are both going into the box to try and get on the end of this. Unfortunately for them, Kyle Hudlin's also going into the box. It's going to be, I believe, Ollie Crankshaw, yes it is, who's the former Bradford City player, was on loan at Motherwell for the second half of last season. Neil Warnock and Ronnie Jepson send Brahima Diarra up the pitch for a possible counter-attack, but first we're going to defend this, and Crankshaw delivers. It's well defended there by Loic Aina, the good first header. Jones knocks it forward to Cian Harrott. Now Cian Harrott's got a little bit of space to run into, but he does check back there, Cian, just go back to Pat Jones. Pat's got Yuta Nakayama inside him, who just drops the ball into midfield for Josh Osterfield, who's had a decent game so far since coming on, Josh, and finds his midfield colleague Scott High. Scott finds Kyle Hudlin. Kyle Hudlin just checks inside. Breaking the skills out now, Kyle Hudlin. Josh Osterfield knows that Connor Evans is there, and he gives it back to Scott High. Scott and Pat and Sorba Thomas try and exchange a 1-2. Played well today, Kyle Hudlin, for this final half hour. In fact, many of the subs who've come on have done pretty well so far. Here's Scott High into Sorba Thomas. Sorba tries to find Hudlin. Fair play to the Stockport trialist, who tracks back. Loic Aina leans into the Stockport striker, and number 22, Ashton Mee, just sends it out for a throw-in. Some young players on the pitch for both sides in this final half hour. Town added to the lead since those substitutions through Kyle Hudlin. After early goals from Danny Ward, Josh Karoma and Jack Radoni. Here's Hudlin again. Nods it back towards Scott High. Scott High tries to lift one into the path of Cian Harrott, but it's just beyond the striker. Sorba Thomas is just going to break off. Brodie Spencer releases the player. Now here's Oloafe. Good win there in front of him from Aina, who just gambled and took it in front. Brodie Spencer slides in again, but the trialist has done pretty well there, although it hits the heels of his colleague. Here's Sorba Thomas. Sorba Thomas wins the throw-in off Pye on this near side, to ironic jeers from the Town faithful, who've not made friends with this assistant in the second 45 minutes. Again, if you are joining us, thank you very much for being here on YouTube again today. We'll be back for the Heron Vane friendly. We'd prefer to see you there in person, of course, as Osterfield breaks clear of the midfield, and he's trying to find Cian Harrott, but the through ball is cut out, and now Josh Osterfield wins the ball back. Headed clear by Byrne. Connor Evans robbed of the ball by High, and now here's Brahima Diarra, who finds Thomas and sets off for the return ball. Sorba Thomas crosses deep towards the far post. Cian Harrott knocks it back to Hudlin, who sticks out that big leg. Scott High, oof, drives a half volley straight at Jordan Smith, and the keeper almost spills it into his own goal, but recovers at the second attempt. Clip that ball down the line, Stockport, to try and find a goal into Oloafe, but good strength. Well, he's just pushed Now Brodie Spencer will do well to push Brodie Spencer off the ball. Yes, well done to the Northern Irishman. Did really well to get back after Aina momentarily lost it. And now Hudlin battling with Byrne again there. He's getting gripped every time he gets near the ball, is Kyle. But you feel like Kyle's one of those players who won't get loads of free kicks just because of how big he is. Like they don't like giving them. Yeah, it's just been played off Kyle there. Byrne is really grabbing his shirt every time he's getting tight to him, and none of the referees seem that interested. Well done, Josh Osterfield. That's a foul to Town, but no, nothing given again. And now Evans finds his trialist, who breaks over halfway. Cian Harrott, good work from Cian to get back alongside the player there. It's a good ball from one trialist to try and find another, but Sorba Thomas gets back to volley the ball out for a throw-in. Into the final minute and a half now. Really do appreciate you joining us here today on HDTV, Town fans. Here's the trialist trying to get round Sorba Thomas again, and Brodie Spencer's positioned himself well at the near post to cut the ball out. Here's Pye again. Pye's going to look to deliver across. No, he isn't. He goes back to the trialist, and the trialist goes to Crankshaw, who's come short. But really good play again from Brodie Spencer, who pops out, and Osterfield's just run it over there, but Diarra is on hand to collect, and now he's got Hudlin down the line again. Hudlin, to be fair, is pinning Byrne as well with his hand, and he's just let that ball go above him so Cian Harrott can pick up the ball. Cian tries to find Kyle Hudlin, but he's found Pat Jones by mistake, so we'll take that. Pat Jones is so quick. He lost that ball, just ran past the guy to win it back. Here's Yuta Nakayama. Yuta goes down the left-hand side. He's just flicked at, but Pat Jones is going to pick that ball. Wow, he just steams past. Oh, it's just rolled out. It's a shame. Just rolled out there. Absolutely flew past Connor Evans there on the outside, but just trying to get it back onto his right foot. Ronnie Jepson applauds Yuta Nakayama there. It's big moments these for Yuta at the moment, because it's his first contact since that Achilles injury.
Today's final match for Stockport County, chosen by our sponsors MK Electrical and Property Solutions, is number 9, your captain, Paddy Madden.
Stockport in possession here. I think the referee will blow pretty much on 90. Been a really good workout here for Town today. 4 players in the goals: Ward, Karoma, Radoni and Hudlin. More minutes in the legs ahead of that Sky Bet Championship opener against Plymouth Argyle. In a successful afternoon. That's the referee's whistle. Thanks for joining us here today. Stockport County 0, Huddersfield Town 4 is the final score. Make sure you stick around on our social channels, on YouTube and on the website for all our post-match reaction here from Edgeley Park. See you next week, Town fans.